are we doing, Heather? Hope you are well. So, what I figured is that we could do this together. So, I've got the skeleton of the program already laid out for you, but I figured I think it's important for the clients to be able to see basically what we're doing on our end, okay, and then not just having a program kind of spat out to them. Now, I think with the potential for comps coming up, okay, I think now is as good as time as ever to kind of bring things back, okay, and restart that build up again, okay. I think for everyone, things have just been a little bit wayward with Christmas and illness and all that kind of stuff, and this time of year it always gets a little bit messy. So again, this is a chance to kind of get in there and rejig things. So what I have in mind, so one thing I want to sort out is I want to sort out the shoulder issues that you are having. Okay, shoulder issues, by that I mean I basically think that some direct shoulder work and just kind of robustness around this sort of like upper chest and shoulder kind of area is the next kind of piece in the puzzle on top of the already layers of bench that you've got going at the moment. I think the tricep strength is there. I think just the raw pressing strength is there, so that's not coming out anywhere. But I would like to do some dedicated shoulder work. Okay, I think it's starting to get a little bit underused, really. Okay, so standing or seated overhead press, okay, I've put in here for you. Okay, 3 sets of 10, as much as you can. Okay, so if something doesn't have a designated RPE next to it, okay, just do as much as you can. The numbers over here will be changed accordingly. Now, another thing is, even with the wanting to switch to low bar, okay, you are still a quad dominant squatter, and you always kind of will be, I think. So I want to artificially get some more quad work in there without just the constant battering on your hips and low back all the time. So leg press is the perfect one in here. Okay, I know it's tagged in on the end of a session and it's going to be the easiest one to kind of skip over. Okay, leg press is in my own program, all right, and it's the one that I'm just can't be asked. I've already squatted, I've already lunged and everything else, but it is one that I need to see in there. Okay, if leg press itself isn't working for you, or you can't always get to a gym with a leg press, okay, I can alternate that to some kind of split squat, maybe some unilateral work, but again, that is there for just for that little bit of extra quad work without the stress going through the lower back and, more importantly, the hips for you. Now, press weakness. Okay, so I've basically worked out how many times a week you should be benching roughly based on kind of what we've done before, and the press weakness. Okay, now I honestly don't think there is a press weakness in here, to be honest. You don't have an obvious third bench movement. Okay, so you've got competition bench, then your secondary would be touch and go. Okay, then I like to have like a third in terms of specificity kind of thrown in there. So that press weakness, okay, I'm going to leave up to you, but I'm going to give the suggestion, okay, a dumbbell tempo paused bench. Okay, no more than about 8 reps for 3 sets. Okay, so all that is, again, it's just that little bit of extra work that I know is the one that's easy to kind of forget at the end, but I do need those done. They are there just to add that little extra layer of volume. They are not there to batter or beat you up. Okay, so we need to, I want you to try as hard as you can, okay, but I don't want you going in there, okay, going absolutely hell for leather on those. Okay, again, they're there, just get them in, get the pump, and be gone with it. Okay, if you like speeding it up, okay, give yourself some set rest periods, that's absolutely fine. Right, now again, so we've done your regular deadlift, okay, so your competition deadlift with a hold. Now your deadlift weakness variation, so that for you, okay, at the moment is going to be pauses. Okay, for now the block pulls may start gradually coming in from a very, very low block, because I think that initial kind of hyper overload work is good for you, but only for your deadlift. So for now, that is going to be pause just below the knee. And you'll see here, okay, you're only doing very, very low sets of that. Okay, set 4 at a 7, set 4 at an 8, and set 4 at a 9. That's what it is, okay? So the volume is still low enough that it is getting into that overload kind of range. Okay, you can have a bit of fun with it. But again, that is there to, purely there just to facilitate that little bit of extra overload. There you go. And then as the weeks go on, okay, you'll see that I'm putting in some... So you'll have basically a top set at a 9 or an 8, and then there will be a back down of basically up to 2 sets of 5. Okay, we've done this style of thing before. Okay, I've gone away from it, and then I'm swinging back towards it now. Okay, I'm just finding that trying to put as much kind of auto regulation in there for you guys as possible. It does pay off in the long run. Okay, so you can't get carried away with this all too much, okay, because it's dictated by the previous set. Right, hip and groin overload. Okay, that knee stability. Okay, that little bit of valgus. Okay, so I think for you, hip thrusts would be a good one. Now, I am fully aware that hip thrusts are a bastard to really overload, to get a pad that's good enough, that doesn't absolutely, you know, there's no body fat on you. Okay, so by the time you've put Jesus, not like close to your body weight on the barbell, that is gonna hurt like hell. So I'm gonna leave that blank for now. This is an open one for you. Hip thrusts would be my initial go-to. And I'm aware you're changing gyms a lot at the moment. Okay, so won't always guarantee yourself like a bar pad and stuff to use. Let me know whether you realistically think that is going to be a viable option. If not, I will make arrangements until you are fixed more at back at Cambridge. Okay, and then your press overload. Now, again, this is something I would like to experiment with because it worked so well on the deadlift, giving you that very low rep overload work. Now it's a case of, oh, sorry, there cut out a little bit. So right, but now for you, okay, the only press overload, the flat, like horizontal press overload that I can think of being worth it for you would be some slingshot or some board press work. But again, I am aware that you are going to be leapfrogging around a lot, okay, and that makes that slightly less viable. So for you, in all honesty, I think your best attempt at a press overload, okay, is going to be a little bit more competition bench work, okay, keeping it in that lower rep range. And what we're going to do with this phase here, okay, is we're going to keep things a little bit lower and kind of see how they play out for you. I think weight management and stuff like that, there's only so much we can kind of get away with. I think at the moment it's a case of trying to get what is there as strong as possible and fine tune a little bit more, because I don't think you're the kind of person that doesn't lose muscle. Okay, you kind of hold on to it regardless of the amount of volume. Okay, I've chucked a shitload of volume at you previously and the weight pretty much stayed the same, okay, but it was a case of the lifts we didn't have enough exposure in that heavier kind of work. So I want to kind of see as how long you can hold on to the weight you have got whilst keeping the reps and the volume as low as we can get away with, really. Okay, I want to keep the intensity higher and the volume lower in this block. Give me a little bit of feedback on how you feel about that, Heather. Okay, again, it's just, I think I'm going to start trying to do these a bit more often. Okay, now I've got a bit more time back in front of the computer like I am now, to try and give you guys a bit more insight as to what's going on, rather than you know, just the plan going out to you, okay? Because again, I want to make sure you guys are a bit more in the loop. Okay, so don't forget to change the numbers over here, as that will dictate the rest of the spreadsheet. Any issues, let me know straight away, okay, and we'll get round to them.